Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of Betraying a Spouse into Lion's Den. We shall be looking at how can someone betray his or her spouse into Lion's Den. One of the ways is by deliberately exposing sensitive information about your spouse to another person. When you disclose such sensitive information, your aim is to have your partner being attacked or being dealt with. So you're indirectly betraying your husband or your wife into lion's den. Another way of doing this is through infidelity. In the beginning of creation, God knows there was going to be sexual immorality and he hates it. That's why he instituted marriage in the first place, in the beginning, so as to curb and to forestall sexual immoralities. Remember how he destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah because of these same acts. That's to show you how much he hates it. There were numbers of persons destroyed during this period. He didn't care. Why? Because he hated the acts. So make sure you're not a victim. Infidelity in marriage is one of the ways you can betray your spouse into lion's den. You are indirectly telling the third party you're relating with that your spouse, after all, is not good enough or he's not capable in several other areas. And then another way that you can betray your spouse into lion's den is by holding important information that could have helped your spouse to grow, either financially, spiritually, business wise, career wise, or in any way. Holding of such information, which you know will help your spouse, is not the best thing to do. It's a betrayal, and it should be avoided as much as possible. If you know any information that will help your partner, any connection you can do, or any information that you bring to your partner that will help him or her to grow, why not relate it with him or her rather than hold it? Hmm? And then, of course, talking too much about the weaknesses of your spouse is another major way of betraying your spouse into lion's den. The world have ears. And then when you are talking too much about the weaknesses of your spouse, you don't know who is listening. Sometimes, if not that God is fighting for us spiritually, a lot of battles, you need to understand some spiritual things. There are some people you see around well clothed, but you don't know they are witches. When they hear you make such comments about your spouse, they want to instigate you to say certain negative things about your spouse out of anger, out of, yes, that's acts of your husband or your wife. And once you say it, they take it to their coven, they take it to their gathering, and they use it against your spouse. That is why you must not talk too much about your spouse because you don't know who is listening. And not only that, people have a way of magnifying things they hear. They take it out and they paint it otherwise. You are betraying your husband or your wife into lion's den, and this is uncalled for. Now, there are so many dangers attached to this. Since I was born, and now I'm getting old, I've never seen nor heard of any parents naming their children Judas. Why? Because Judas betrayed his master, his friend, his brother, his everything. In what way did he achieve this? He went to kiss Jesus, his master. And I'm sure when he did this, all other disciples would have been saying, "Oh, what did happen now? It can't be like say Judas, now come love our master pass." Mm-mm. He went to kiss him, but he was kissing him into betrayal because already he had sold Jesus to his enemies, and his enemies were around. And he told them, whoever he kisses is the person they are going to capture and deal with. With the consign, the money don't enter in pockets, but he paid daily for it. So that's why we must be careful. Not everybody is your friend. There are unfriendly friends. That's why we must not talk too much. All right. For those of you that are yet to get married, that's why you must have to be careful in choosing your partner. Choose somebody you can stay with the rest of your life. Don't say, let me just take him or her. After all, if we enter and he or she is not satisfied me, I look for somebody else. No, it's not done. It's not right. Okay. Due to lack of time, we will be discussing on the next episode the dangers attached to these betrayals and how you can avoid these dangers. So we can all have a happy and blissful home. See you again.